What's up? Welcome back to Tales to Morrow. I am Morrow, Tiefling, and your story reader for today of RPG Horror Stories. By the way, if at any point you want to leave your own feedback or your own comments or your own thoughts about the stories that we read on here, comments down below. It makes me look less silly just being the only one giving out the thoughts and opinions, and hey, maybe some of y'all have better advice to give out, I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and get with the first story. New DM made my character from the previous campaign into a washed-up loser and hers into a legendary hero. I've been part of a 40-year-long campaign, which I really enjoyed. There were 3 other players on the table and the DM, who was really amazing. My character was a fighter who had become addicted to a drug which had rage-like effects with a few other buffs, but he had started to lose his mind. Towards the end game, the entire arc of my character has been to conquer his addiction and give up on the drug after the final session. I had said that he would go and be treated for the addiction before marrying one of the NPCs. The DM wanted the new campaign to be in a completely different world, and one of the players, Helen, offered to DM a short game set 20 years in the future. In her short game, she decided that instead of getting treated, my character started taking the drug again, had tried to struggle the NPC he was supposed to marry, and her character had kicked his butt and had now married the said NPC. That was a quick turnaround. What the hell? Not only that, my character now lived in the slums and was feral, while hers was one of the legendary heroes, and somehow the rest of the party had been completely indifferent of how my character ended up. I was pissed as I had been playing this character for 4 years. Not only me, others were surprised as well and even said that she was writing a fanfiction. She got pissed off and started saying how no one minded when the other DM told the story how he wanted. I was too annoyed, so I left the call, and apparently others also left the call after arguing further with her. She had tried to be controlling of other characters ever since she had joined, but no one believes me. Had a problem with it before this. I feel like there's a lot more to this that hasn't been told, like something in the background. Yeah, I'm shocked. Why would you? Why? You don't just take someone's character and say, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and write him to be terrible and mean and abusive and horrible and feral, and my character is the greatest, best as all. It's like a very, I don't know, it's just really weird. It's like a power trip. Anyway, well, that's weird. Don't do that. Don't write other people's characters how they're bad, apparently, and make your character the bestest ever, because that's weird. That's a weird power trip. But anyway, DM forces romance between a DMPC and my character. This is my first D&D 5e game with strangers. For years, I've been playing with close friends, but schedules and busy lives sadly stopped our weekly games. The DM of that game mentioned to me that they know another DM who's looking for players. I say I'm interested, he hooks us up, and I join the game. DM of this game is female. I'm a straight male, and so is my cleric character. The only other player is a min-maxer straight female playing a female Hexblade Paladin with Polearm Sentinel. The genders will be important later. So the DM told us that since the party is so small, should be adding an NPC who will help us out here and there. The NPC turned out to be a male DMPC rogue who is always 2 levels above us, plus magic items. They don't just help here and there, no, they straight up take the spotlight, often being the one dealing the final blow against bosses. But more on that later. I am already hating the way this is going. DMPCs should only be relied as companion characters and nothing more. Your players are the main cast. I get it, you want to have a cool NPC character or DMPC character, go for it, champ. Make a cool character, but don't let the character dominate the entire story. That's honestly a shitty thing to do to your players. I need to mention that nearly all the NPCs are male, some of which have romantic relationships with each other. Literally, the only female NPCs are the villains, usually the seductress or femme fatale types. So we get around 2 sessions in, and I immediately don't like the DMPC. The DM always inserts the DMPC in every scene with my character. I noticed that it's difficult for my cleric to bond with a min-maxer, because every time I try to RP with a min-maxer, the DMPC butts in. The first instance where it becomes a big problem is when we were fighting one of the main villainesses. She was villainesses? Is that how you say it? Villainesses? I feel like I'm casting a spell. Villainesses. She was hiding behind hostages, but we ended up pummeling her and kicking her ass pretty good. Mostly thanks to the min-maxer's absurd crits. We told the DMPC to go help the hostages instead while we handle the villainesses. The DMPC argues against it. Sometimes it feels like the DM herself is arguing against us, telling us that it's a bad idea. After a bit of back and forth, we finally go to the DMPC to leave combat and help the hostages. Finally, combat where someone else deals the final blow. Oh wait, never mind, I'm down. Yep, the moment the DMPC leaves, the villainess one-shots me. The DM excitedly says, "Bet someone's wishing DMPC was right here right now." That ticked me off a bit, but whatevs, the min-maxer will fix it. The min-maxer goes and uses up smites, dealing absurd amount of damage. And the villainess somehow survives and paralyzes the min-maxer. No saves. Just one hit, then bam, paralyzed. You know what this feels like? Like a forced cutscene right as you're about to defeat the boss, right? You just get to the little point where the boss has a tiny little bit of health and bam, cutscene plays out. And somebody else swoops in and saves the day. I'm gonna get annoyed, aren't I? I'm gonna get really annoyed at this DM. Probably. With both PCs out of commission, the DM describes how the villainess was about to finish me off as she's about to step on my head. Then a bit of silence as she played some heroic music, and proceeds to describe how the DMPC just came right on time to rescue me, and how he was so angry and furious that he let me go down on his watch, blah blah blah. The villainess got scared shitless and tried to seduce them, but he says there's only one person he loves, blah blah blah. Yeah. DMPC one-shots the villainess. Yay. You only have 2 players in your campaign. The least you could do is give the final blow to one of the players. The least you could do. But no, the DMPC needs to have everything the final blow and be so important to the story. Just gotta ham fist that DMPC right into the story. Just ham fist directly with fistful. This is upsetting. When both me and the min-maxer recovered, the DMPC proceeds to scold us about how we were too weak and how we are reckless. The DM was also very obnoxiously trying to hint that he is being harsh because he cares. Yeah, no, I don't care. I was planning to leave, but I didn't. That's because of min-maxer. After the DMPC leaves this scene for the very first time, DM expected me to go after them and console them. My character and the min-maxer finally got to roleplay together meaningfully. We bonded over our near-death experience, and her character was a lot of fun and was very sweet. The DM inserted a scene where she describes how the savior of the day ends up alone and ends the session. I feel like either the DM wants to just play the player, or just really wants to create some sort of, I don't know, fan fiction world where her characters get adored and loved and everything because they feel like that their DMPC makes the story better, when in fact, none of you players want to interact with the DMPC because they're obnoxious and nobody wants to have them. I spoke to the DM about it, and it feels as though this rogue of hers is like a DMPC. She said, "Don't worry, the rogue will only be around for one arc." I worry, but whatever. The roleplay with min-maxer was enough for me to give this another session. At least I have something to look forward to. Comes next session, the DMPC is now flirting with my character. No build up to it, just randomly decides to be flirty. He was also kinda mean to min-maxer. Every time she speaks, he acts like she's being dumb. And the DM just makes things happen narratively to prove that she was indeed being dumb. We got into a fight with a villainess, a character from my backstory who wasn't supposed to be evil. It was my aunt, who was also my mentor. Naturally, my character wouldn't want to speak with them and try to understand what's going on and won't throw hands right away. The DMPC, on the other hand, wants to kill her. He had this whole speech about love and choosing who you love, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with why I want to talk to my aunt. Half of it was the DM herself explaining things that gave me meta-knowledge to prove that my aunt is now pure evil that puts Satan to shame. Aunt then nearly one-shots me that I'm getting angry. Not as angry as I was during the wizard story from the other video, but like, I'm getting pretty mad. Aunt then nearly one-shots me that comes with a stun that has a ridiculous save DC for our level, and DMPC was going to slay her. Min-maxer tries to intervene as she wants to non-lethally take down my aunt for my sake, but the DM wasn't having any of it. Even when my aunt was downed, DMPC executes her. This, of course, enrages my character. The DMPC says that I'm ungrateful, that he saved my life. The DM also says that out of character. The DMPC stormed off once again, expecting me to go after them. Oh, but I don't. Once again, min-maxer got space to roleplay with me. She consoled my character and led to a very bittersweet, wholesome moment. Both even saw potential development towards romance in the future, and she jokingly says, "I ship it." Well, at least the min-maxer is genuinely enjoyable to play with. Honestly, Even though the DM sucks, even though the DMPC is annoying, at least the min-maxer's being a complete homie. Thank you. At that moment, the DM just straight up tells me that my character feels an overwhelming guilt in his heart. I told her that's not how my character feels right now. So she gets the DMPC to come to me instead, and he looks so heartbroken and hurt by me. Fuck, like I care. But apparently my character does care, and the DM describes how my character feels tight in his chest seeing the DMPC like this. I cut her off and say, stop controlling my character, this is messed up. Poor choice of words on my part, because now she's accusing me of being homophobic and told me I should be more open to guy-on-guy relationship. Specifically, guy-on-guy. She doesn't even say gay relationships. At this point, I'm done. The line between me and my character starts to blur, and I did some immature things. I angrily asked the DMPC what they want. The DMPC tries to tell me to snap out of it. I'm like, what? The NPC proceeds to accuse my character of being seduced by the villainess, who is my aunt. Both in and out of character, I just want to attack the DMPC for saying such. So I told the DM, I cast Guiding Bolt on the DMPC. The DM straight up tells I need to roll a wisdom save to be able to attack someone I love. What the fuck? Yeah, actually, unironically, what the fuck? First of all, don't force your player characters into a relationship or a specific archetype or anything for that matter without their permission or their consent. Second of all, completely taking away the family member that was put into the backstory and rewriting them entirely. Why? Man, this DM is really upset. I was really upset that her little DMPC is not going to be getting any action. Don't choose what your player characters do. You can do things like charm and like dominate mind and spell effects, right? Spell effects and curses. Put that on the player, not what their personalities are, or in this case, sexuality or anything. Don't control the player. Let them have agency, but allow spell effects to work. Spell effects, okay. Controlling their entire identity, not okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna argue. I'll roll that save and continue my attack. Being a cleric, I have a good wisdom, so I saved. I hit the DMPC, who is then described to unleash a frightening aura, and approach my character. But he gets stopped dead on his tracks by the Min-Maxer's Polar Master Sentinel combo. It was glorious how Min-Maxer interrupts the DM describing the DMPC being all edgy. The DM tries to argue that out of character for Min-Maxer and that this will break her oath because my character is the one who attacked first. Min-Maxer argues well enough that it is in their character and won't break their oath. So the attack happens, but it misses as the DM randomly gave the DMPC the ability to parry as a reaction, which they never had before. I point out that Min-Maxer gets to attack with advantage due to my Guiding Bolt, so Min-Maxer rolls again and rolls higher than the DMPC's AC plus parry. So yeah, he gets stopped. But no, the DM says that can't do that yet and must roll initiative first. We try to argue it was a reaction, but the DM won't budge. Fine. Being a rogue, DMPC had the highest dex, so he rolled the highest. He proceeds to approach my character. The Min-Maxer tries to use the reaction, but the DM says they can't, because initiative started with the DMPC already in Min-Maxer's range, and thus did not enter her reach. Bullshit. So yeah, the DMPC gave their speech about love and betrayal and downs me, which allows Min-Maxer to use their Sentinel reaction as the DM made an attack. It misses, but she points out that Guiding Bolt is still active, which even I forgot, so she rolls again. Crit. The NPC barely survives with uncanny dodge. Min-Maxer's turn now. She proceeds to one-shot the DMPC, even with his 2 levels advantage and magic items. He goes down and Min-Maxer goes for the kill. DM can't even lie about his HP because we know how much HP he has. As the DM always says, it's funny how the rogue has this much more HP than the paladin. Well, duh, they got 2 levels higher. So yes, the NPC is just dead. DM leaves mid-call without saying a word. Last I heard, DM talked to my previous DM trying to paint me and Min-Maxer as the misogynist asshole. Well, there are always 2 sides of the story, I suppose. Okay, to make sure I'm responsible, I want to make sure I be as clear as possible. It is always best to solve issues about the D&D games out of character, so that you can be very concise and clear and be very direct and not have like a whole kerfuffle. In this case, however, I kind of want to give them a pass because holy shit, way to go min-maxer and way to go OP. That's just poetic justice. The DM did a horrible job of adding the roguish rogue, you know, the suavest of the suave to the party that didn't really want to be around them. So yeah, it's really bad. Players probably should have taken this out of game and try to solve this with DM directly, but I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of cool that the two player characters, the OP and the min-max, are sort of bonded over this, and I hope they get to play games together still. I hope y'all are in a new campaign playing together. Maybe it's those same characters or maybe some new characters, who knows. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and call it here. I want to thank you very much for watching. If you want to leave any feedback on the stories we read here or what I do, comments down below. And if you want to see more, probably the best way to keep up to date with the videos is by subscribing. You don't have to hit the bell, just subscribing should be fine, I think.